Hello, everyone. My name's Craig. I'm a 35-year-old father of two boys. Thomas is just coming up to his fifth birthday, and little Charlie was born in June. Beautiful, beautiful boys. Really blessed to have both of them in my life, and nowadays I get to spend quite a bit of time with them. During the day, I still work, so I have a full-time job. I manage a charity or a community trust in West Yorkshire, and it allows me the opportunity to give back. Allows some good work to be done in the local community, which benefits kids mainly, with a focus on guiding them towards a healthy, active lifestyle, which is something that fits very personal with me. In my spare time, I run set up about a year ago now a community run club in my local town in West Yorkshire, not too far from Castleford, Wakefield. So yeah, I mean, that run club generates some funds for a local charity. Not a massive amount, but the people that come along are generally people that are looking for that first step to take on an active lifestyle, but also potentially might be wanting to keep the fitness levels up. So we've got a good mix of people that are wanting to get fitter, and we've got people that are trying to maintain their level of fitness, but also enjoy a bit of the social as well with it. And we've all become friends, over the last year. Some people have come, some people have gone, some newbies come along, every now and again, and to be still here a year later is testament to the people that are involved in that, and makes me really proud to be able to give back as well. Alongside that, if that wasn't enough, I am vice chair of the school governors of my son's local primary school, or junior and infant school as it is. And I also sit as a governor on the local schools forum as well, which is another board of governors looking at sort of the education sector as a whole. So I do like to keep myself busy, and I like to give back as much as I can to the local community. But it wasn't always that way. And it's important that you know that, because going back, let's rewind to 2014. I was involved in hospitality. I had been for on and off for about 14 years. I think a good sort of 10 to 11 years of that was solidly hospitality, and I was regularly doing sort of weekly about somewhere between sort of 70, 80 hours. Sometimes during busy periods up to 100 hours a week wasn't abnormal. If it was a busy period of the year, say Christmas or the peak of summer, for example. Hospitality is an unforgiving world when it comes to expectations. So you do work hard, but it's fun. It's a fun environment, fun industry to be in. Don't regret taking a step into hospitality whatsoever. And it wasn't until Thomas was born that it actually started to get to me a little bit, because very quickly I realised that I was missing out on bits of his life that I particularly wanted to be there for, and that's unfortunate. I know I'm not the only one that sits in that world, where you're actually out of the house more than you're in the house. Quite often I found myself waking up before he was awake, going to work before you even heard a whimper out of him. And I was coming home from work after he'd already been put to bed. And that is, it's awful to experience on a regular basis. You don't mind if it's a one-off, but on a regular basis, that's awful. And I felt as though I was missing out on his life. Now, little Charlie wasn't even on the horizon back then. He was born, in 2016. So obviously, a good 2 years before that, I started to grow tired, and I had enough. I wanted a change. I didn't know what else I could do. Obviously, most of my experience lay within hospitality, and I knew that just by changing roles, I was just going to get more of the same. Jumping out of the frying pan into the fire, as didn't want that. But one of my long-standing goals has always been to manage a charity. And I thought, well, I kind of get it. I know what I'm doing. But and I have some funding experience. So, I worked in sports development, and I've written quite a lot of funding bids over the years. I was involved in sports development for 3 years, so I had a good amount of experience. So I thought, charity is the way to go. It's something that's close to my heart. I really want to do this. So I set about applying for jobs, and I was unsuccessful on every single occasion. It got to the point that I thought, maybe hospitality is the industry for me. Maybe it is. And I guess you kind of become accepting that, maybe you are stuck in that life. But I thought, let's just give something else a try. So I became a trustee of a charity. I wanted to give something back in my spare time. I'd agreed it with my employer that, this is something that I wanted to do. Could I have certain, days off or evenings off, when a trustee meeting came around? And bear in mind, we only really met once every 2 months, or maybe once every 6 weeks. It wasn't actually that much of a burden for the company, and they were very accepting of that. They knew it was something that I wanted to do, and they said, yeah, absolutely, of course you can. So that was agreed with them. And they stuck to that. I was able to attend every single meeting that came up. Very quickly, I found that I was really enjoying this, and it was something that I definitely wanted to get my teeth into. It renewed my interest in becoming, managing a charity, or at least being part of a charity in some way, as long as it could obviously fund our lifestyle as a family, and pay for the mortgage and things like that. So I got that very quickly, and then lo and behold, the managerial position of the charity that I was a trustee for actually came up. And initially, I was a bit nervous to put my hand up and say, actually, I'm interested. Can we have a chat about it? Because I actually thought maybe they couldn't, pay me the salary that I craved, and I didn't particularly want to take a significant drop in salary from what I was doing, because I wouldn't have been able to afford to live. So it was pointless doing a job if you can't afford to live. Anyway, so all the while, that's what happened. And then, of course, I took the job, and the rest is history. Back in 2014, on the lead up to all of this, back in 2014, I found an opportunity that I was mind blown. I'd never ever come across an opportunity quite like the one that I looked at, and I was just blown away. And I thought, wow, you can actually do that, you can actually achieve those things. And a friend of mine I've been following his progress on Facebook, and I thought, whatever life he's got, he seems to be able to do a lot of what he wants to do, rather than being fixated on pure work. So I thought, I need to have a chat with him. So I reached out to him, organised a catch up. He came round to my house, and we had a good chat. And very quickly, I was asking questions surrounding, how do you develop the type of income that you've got that allows you so much time freedom, and so on and so forth. And then, he said, look, if I can do it, you can do it. Why don't you have a good look at the opportunity? Don't leave it at that. Come along. We've got a meeting. You can come and speak to other people, and see what they're up to as well. So I did that. I actually decided it was for me. I have conversations now where the exact same opportunity isn't for them, and that's okay. It's not for everybody, and you've got to remember that prior to 2014, I didn't even know it existed either. So it's quite interesting listening to people's comments, listening to people's excuses, reasons, that type of thing, as to why they do or don't want to do something. And I over the last 3 years have really enjoyed myself. I decided to set up a business, and I decided to set up a network marketing business. I can't believe how huge it is. You've got a $178 billion industry, which is bigger than any other industry, actually. It's bigger than General Electric, 5 times, 6 times as big as McDonald's, which sits at $28 billion. worldwide. And you think, wow, network marketing's really got something here. A lot of people are doing it. And the reason for that is simple. You know, that there are so many benefits. Traditional business. So let's say you are, you know, or you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, right? Let's just say you do. You might not. And if you don't, then it's definitely not for you. But if you do have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, listen to this. So a traditional business to set up, the average would be approximately about, sort of say, in the UK, you're probably looking at an initial startup cost of about 18 to 20k. Initial. But by the end of your first year, you'll have spent probably in the region of about 50 to 60,000 pounds on your business development. So that would be getting everything set up, started, all the processes in place. But by the end of the first year, you'd have roughly spent about 50 to 60,000 on your business pounds. Okay. Average in the US business to start is about $65,000. That's the average in the US. So you can imagine that when you look at a business opportunity like network marketing, that where it's going to cost you anywhere from $0 to $1,000, and in the UK it's going to cost you anywhere, you know, anything less than £200. You know, literally £200 will be the top mark for you to start your business in the UK. Think about that for a second, because 200 quid as opposed to 18 to 20k, right? So what are the other pitfalls that you've got starting your own business, a traditional business? So you might have, you know, the likelihood that you're going to have a product. So you've got to come up with that product. You might even have to get that, you know, patented. Yeah. So you're going to have some product formulations. You're going to have some testing as well, some product testing. You need to make sure that this product is consumer viable, and that's going to require a lot of testing, which again is you know, it's not inexpensive. You're going to have to spend money on the development of that product, aren't you? Okay, so let's just say that for a second. That's what you've got in your hands. So we're not leveraging time, we're talking about a product. Okay, so then you've got the fact that you're going to need a logo. You're going to need a website. You're going to need to organise shipping. So, you know, if you're organising shipping, you're going to need some warehousing potentially. You know, all of this costs money. All of this, you know, all the rental fees, the insurances, everything's going to cost you an absolute bomb. Never mind the accounting costs as well that you're going to have to endure. And you're going to have to track all of those sales. You may actually need to employ people. So you might need to employ some people to do the work for you. Okay, and some of the jobs. Make sure it's managed, make sure it's marketed, that type of thing. So you've also got marketing costs on top of that. Now think about the other way around. Think about network marketing. Network marketing allows you to get started for less than it would cost for you to design your logo in your traditional business. So you already get a range of products. No matter which company you choose, they are likely to have a range of products. What you need to ensure is that you can align yourself with at least one of those products, at least one. So you're going to need to try them at some point to make sure that they fit with you and your lifestyle, and make sure that you can use them on a regular basis. What you're then going to do is you're then going to recommend them to other people, and this is the word of mouth advertising that we talk about. But you're actually approaching your network. So everybody in the world has a network. The network of people that they know and that they know and that they know. Exactly. Okay, so it's network. Hence the name network marketing. Because you're actually going to recommend this product to people. So in conversation, the same way that you would recommend a restaurant, a movie, a show, you know, even a car, you know, that type of thing. You're going to recommend something to them based on your personal experience. And that's normally how recommendations come about, isn't it? You can't recommend something you haven't tried yourself. So, you know, with this as an opportunity, you owe it to yourself. So who takes care of the product development within the network marketing company? The lead company does. Who takes care of all the shipping costs? The lead company does. Who takes care of absolutely everything, including providing you with your own website or a selection of websites to align you with certain brands? The company did. And all you have to do is turn up and pay somewhere around £200 or less to start your business. How bloody brilliant is that? Genuinely, when you're listening to an opportunity like that, unbelievable. So what are the benefits of that? So, well, for me, I wanted to break away from the industry that I was in to enable me to have more family time with my kids. So that was my reason why. And it's really important that you've got a reason why. If you haven't got a reason why, you're not successful. You're not going to find a reason to get up and do the work. It's now, 10:48 p.m. In the UK, and I'm sat here recording a video on Zoom so that I can actually put it up on the internet. That's the type of thing that I'm doing in the pockets of my life. And, I wouldn't do this instead of my day job, for example, at the moment, because, that is the linear income that continues to pay my mortgage, bills, that type of thing, and takes care of my lifestyle. The supplementary income that it creates is for the niceties in life. So that might be, I've got the opportunity to earn in various different ways, but let's take the most basic and simple one. You've got the retail element. So the products that I sell that are then transferred over to my clients, and the profit margin that sits between what they pay me and what the product actually costs me to order is my surplus. So that's when you've got a business. Your business element comes in. You will sell the product for more than you can purchase it for, and therefore you've got that retail element. Now, if you're a retailer and that's all you want to do, you don't even want to bother yourself with building a network and growing a network of people doing the same thing as you, then that's absolutely fine, because you can earn on retail fairly healthily, in terms of, if you just want to add a couple of £100 extra to your salary each and every month, then you can just retail. If, however, you want to leverage that, so, you've introduced the products not only to yourself and got a great result, but you've also then recommended it to a friend, and they've recommended it to their friends through usage of that product, then you can now start to look at introducing other people to the opportunity. And that's where this comes in, because the opportunity is there for everybody. It would be selfish, certainly of myself, if I was to just keep it to myself. So I want I want this to reach everybody, of course I do. But the reality is that through the usage of the product and aligning yourself with the products within that range and within the company, what you actually then do is you create a supplementary income for yourself. By introducing somebody else, what you actually do there is you benefit from commission, not only from the sales that you make, but also from the sales that network creates as well. So they create a commission for themselves, they create some retail profit for themselves, but you also create some commission for yourself from their sales as well. So you're going to build and you're going to grow them, and that's the reward for you actually introducing them to this opportunity. So at no point are you stealing any money that they were due from the company. Actually, the company is rewarding you for introducing somebody else into the company who've actually grown their sales. Does that make sense? So the reality of this is it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the person you introduce, and it's a win-win for you. Actually, you get to generate some commission that we then call residual income. And residual income is basically it's payment for the efforts that you essentially did in the beginning when you introduced this client into the business, or introduced this client to the product even before that. It's payment for the time that you've then spent working with them, not only to get a good product result, but also then to start their business and any help that they needed to get started in the business. And believe me, you start with no skills. If you're not a network marketer, you haven't come across from another company, you haven't got the foggiest what to do, anybody can do this business. So you haven't got any skills to start with. It's for you to learn them. And it's for the person that introduced you to actually go through that with you and explain how that works. So yeah, you can basically learn as you earn, because you don't need to have all of the skills to do well in this industry. In fact, probably the less you know, the better it is, because the more you know, the more you're likely to talk about what you know about, and that can sometimes put people off. la la, here I am on video. So, you've got that. And you've also got the flexibility of this business as well, because it can fit around your existing commitment. I know people that have, extremely busy lives. Forget me for a minute, with my 70 to 100-hour week in hospitality. Forget me. If I can do it, you can do it. But forget me. Let's talk about the mum of 3, or 2, or 4, or 5. Let's talk about them. Because what time do they get around their busy lifestyle with their family? They likely don't, but yet they still find time. Maybe when the kids are in bed. The little pockets of their life that they have, they utilize because they want to create a better life for their kids. And this is what I like about it, because if you can create some residual income, and the residual income is where you really start to get tasty, you can actually create yourself a little bit of a pension. It's a little bit of a pension pot, because it's going to grow and it's growing, it's going to grow. The larger your network gets, the bigger your pension gets. And the beauty of this is that it doesn't stop when you get to 67 years of age, just like your linear income will. So your job might pay you a pretty packet, but have you got a pension? And if you have got a pension, what's it going to pay you when you retire? And if you haven't got a pension and you're in your mid-20s to 30s, well, guess what? You're really going to struggle to live on next to nothing when you retire. So what's going to happen? You're going to work a bit longer. And the average age of death is roughly around about 83 years of age. So you might only have 16 years left to live once you've retired at 67. But if you continue working, and actually the company that employs you wants to keep you beyond 67, because you might not be able to do very much then, the chances are you might find yourself jobless well before that. So how are you going to live? And this is a serious question. How are you going to live? And you've got to protect that. So, by creating a pension that is going to grow over the years, and all you have to do is consistently make efforts along the way to speak to your network, recommend a product, get them to fall in love with it, and before long, you've created a network of people who are all doing exactly the same thing you are. Okay, does that make sense? So this is network marketing. And, for whatever reason, some people have got a bit of a bad opinion of network marketing. But I've got to tell you, if you are a network marketer, get your chin up, get your shoulders back, because if you've got an entrepreneurial bone in your body, we have a better way. Because let's face it, where else are you going to get another opportunity like this one? And if you are a skeptic, I will challenge you. Tell me another way, with all of the benefits of traditional business ownership, at such a low risk factor. If you can come back to me with an answer of how somebody can do that, then, I'm sold. But otherwise, maybe it's time to have a look. Thanks, guys.